Like let's let's
So
get yourself
that little
together.
spark, that little inkling of a spark that was in you that was like, let's give this just one more try. That's all you really need. I think people feel like, so I used to work as a nurse practitioner. I used to work in drug and rehab, and I used to work at an inner city hospital where, I mean, you saw people coming in ODing in the lobby, and so I had boxes of Narcan in my office because that's
What's
just where.
Narcan? See, that's what I'm saying. You got all
Oh,
these degrees and stuff. People don't know what
so I
Narcan
think
is.
no, don't
I
get it.
don't know what is
You don't know what
Narcan.
Narcan is? Well, because that wasn't your thing, so you would
No,
never have
seriously,
to
what
use.
is
So
Narcan?
Narcan is, now you finna try to
What
joke
is
on me. So I'm gonna
Narcan?
have to beat him up online. So I'm still going,
The
but
word on the street is that she's not smarter than the average person.
I am,
Somebody told me that,
but I am.
but she is. Who knows what Narcan is? I don't know what that
So
is.
Narcan is
Okay.
an opioid antagonist, which means, so if my drug of choice is opioids, fentanyl, morphine, heroin, uh, anything, Percocets, Roxy's, Narcs, whatever, pills, um, those are opioids. And so what they do, depending on how you use it, whether you're, and there's a lot of different slang terms out there. When I worked in rehab, I learned a lot. There's sometimes I didn't even know, and I would have to ask, but I wanted to know because it's like I have young kids, so I want to know these terms. But whether you're snorting it, whether you're injecting it, swallowing it, or what they call eating it, Narcan, if you OD, and a lot of people who do these drugs, they already know. They know what to do. I mean, they know. So if you OD and say you have Narcan, Narcan is squirted in your nose, and it's an opioid antagonist. So what it does, like chemically, it binds to those receptors. So say you have all these little, if you envision, you have all these little circles of opioids circling in your bloodstream, and you're ODing, so you're, passed out, unconscious, almost dead, whatever. When somebody squirts Narcan in your nose, it's gonna like systemically, it's gonna absorb really fast, and it's gonna attach itself to those opioid receptors, and then it's gonna basically, let's just say, dissolve them, eat them up, whatever. Poof, like you're not high anymore, and you all the opioids that you've done, for the day or whatever, they're gone, and so you wake back up, and
Goodness.
but what happens is, and if pills or opioids were your drug of choice, then you already know, especially if you've ever OD'd, because most of the people that I talk to, 99% of them have OD'd at least 5 times, sometimes
Goodness.
15, 20,
Goodness.
depending on somebody's age, but because people hit it hard. I mean, people have a lot of different
So
things going
they've
on.
OD'd that many times.
Yes. And
So
so what
and they
happens?
still that means that they still keep on with the drug.
Listen, what I'm telling you,
That's how bad
keep
addiction.
on. So as soon as they get that Narcan and they poof wake up, no, I need to get high right
I'm
now.
back.
No,
Right.
I need to get high right now because all of, and that's exactly what they say. So then I used to say, well, did they call the ambulance or whatever? Did you have to go to the hospital? There's sometimes people, they're friends, and if you're a friend, if you had people around, that's why you were talking to me because you lived. Now some
Right.
people,
Right.
they OD and sometimes they pass out and they might wake up, but for the most part, we don't really hear from those people because they died.
Right.
And so, and that's what I'm saying.
Which
People,
they probably was cool with.
well, yeah, because, and who knows what they're feeling? Who knows? They could have been looking over their body. I don't know. But if they died, like they were cool with it. They were in that much mental pain that they were okay.
And the only thing that would
Yeah.
probably make it not alright to an addict like that is they can't be alive to get high no more.
No,
And
what
that's a
makes it bad
shame.
is when my friend Narcans me, and I poof wake up and I ain't got
Really.
no opioids floating in my system. Oh no, we got to get high right now. Like, and so that's what they did. So a lot of them, if somebody did call 911 and they would come out, um, they wouldn't go because one, they already know they're gonna
They
pump my
put them
stomach, give me
right.
an IV fluids.
Right.
I'm good. I'm alive. I'm awake. I need to get high. So go on about your way. Don't even worry about calling 911 because we just need to get
No,
high
I just
again.
got woke. You woke me up.
Yeah,
That's good
thank you.
enough.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, let me
Appreciate
go
it.
on and go.
And so they get high again. So they know the routine, because that's their drug. They live it. And so everybody,
And you gonna
Narcan,
tell a person like that just don't do drugs no more.
absolutely not.
Physical, your physiology, if
So
that's a word. You
it is a
can't
word
just stop.
because I've developed a dependence. So the term, so say I go to a pain doctor, I'm legit, I have a prescription, and I take 2 Percocets a day. Am I a drug addict? In the sense of the medical world and real life, no, I'm not a drug addict. However, if I've been taking this Percocet twice a day for a year, 5 years, 10 years, guess what? My body has developed a tolerance to
Right.
this medication. If you take that Percocet out of my system and I go cold turkey, guess what? I'm gonna have some similar symptoms as if this person over here has been taking street perks every day. The only difference is the drugs that are on the street now are not 100% of the drug. You are not finna find only heroin or only morphine or only methadone. It's a skittle bag, and that's the scary part because when I would, so I'm licensed in multiple states because the job I used to work at, we had to get licensed in other states. So if I talk to someone from Ohio, Kentucky, Las Vegas, Colorado, they know these drugs are not just a Percocet or a Roxy or heroin or
Of
morphine.
course. Of
But
course.
but it used to be that way. Years ago, you could just get, I just want a bag of cocaine. Cool. Now, when I used to tell people, well, you were positive, because I always made a point to tell people what their drug screen was positive for.
Right, right.
So I'll say like, oh, well, you're positive for fentanyl, morphine, methadone, you know, like benzos. I don't take Xanax. Well, this is what it is. So what happens is they don't know that the drug dealers are mixing and
Right,
cutting
right.
these drugs with all these substances. And so now some do, some do, but some, when you're addicted, you just gotta have it. So this one lady told me, I'll never forget. She was like, I'm allergic to morphine. And I said, well, what does morphine do to you? So she was like, I get highs, blah, blah. And she was like, you know why I know I'm addicted to morphine? She was like, because the drug dealer that I was getting my drugs from, like, say she was going to buy, she's thinking she's going to buy some opioids or whatever, like heroin or whatever to use. It was cut with morphine. And she would get a rash all the time. And so she was like, that, of course, who's going to really tip? You can't check the drug dealer, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
she cool.
No, she went to another one, like, cause he cutting his with morphine. I'm
Goodness.
allergic to morphine, but it's just stuff like that though. But it's just like, and that's the scary part. So when young kids used to tell me like they kind of try different substances, I'm like, that's very dangerous, cause now it ain't the same. They putting pesticides in drugs, embalming fluid in weed. Like it's scary. Like, so alcohol is the scary part of alcohol is it's legal, and
Okay.
that's why it's so dangerous because of what it. It's the same category as
So
Xanaxes.
check this out, because a lot of people don't know this, but when a person is checking in with his heroin or all these drugs you talking about, what's the number one that they have to watch for the most?
No, the number two or two.
Okay, what
The
is it?
the one, and this is just a tidbit pearl for any like nurses who want to be nurse practitioner working addiction medicine. The two you should be worried about is alcohol and benzodiazepines. And benzos are the Xanaxes, Clonopins, those type drugs. Why? Because they are dangerous. Those drugs will have you having
So
seizures
when you say number one to what?
in terms of like
The people that's
addiction and
gonna get
people.
withdrawals
So
or the
right,
most
yeah,
dangerous to whip.
yes, those people you have to watch like a hawk
So if I
because
check myself in, you have to
oh, he
watch me
does
more than a
alcohol.
heroin
How long you
patient.
been drinking? About 20 years. How much you drink a day? About a pint to a gallon a day. Hey y'all, when we get
Right, but that's
no, but
crazy.
no, that's the
That,
conversation
yeah.
we have because I need to make sure somebody has eyes on him every 15
So out
minutes.
of all the drugs,
So this person over here only did stimulants. So we talk about methadone, like amphetamines, Adderalls, uppers, cocaine, da da da. Okay, cool. Will you withdraw and feel like crap? Absolutely. But stimulants ain't gonna kill you. Withdrawing off of opioids, heroin, pills, will they make you feel like crap? Absolutely. It ain't gonna kill you. These people that do the Xanax bars, Xanax prescription, Clonopins, all those Valiums, all those type drugs, Ativans, those are benzodiazepine drugs. And then you got alcohol. Those two are like brothers and sisters. They have the same effects on your body and brain. So they are the number two. So it's like,
Right.
he coming in and he's like, yeah, I've been drinking on and off since I was 20. And you how old? 40 something. We need to watch him every 15 minutes and to make sure he's breathing, do his vital signs every 15. We need to make sure because he's going, and we'll talk about like how you felt. And everybody has different how they do their bodies, but those two substances are the most dangerous. And the dangerous part about alcohol is legal.
Yeah,
and that's right. The dangerous part about it because it's legal.
Yeah, even when the COVID was happening, it was considered an essential business. Yes. I cut hair, they shut us down.
It's essential. Why? Because we don't want you having a seizure.
It's so bad to where like now liquor stores are staying open. Yeah. Like, and so it's kind of like
alcohol and
liquor stores just in general, where they're located and all that. That's in itself something totally different.
It is because different zip codes are gonna have.
Yeah, so that's something. Yeah, and I fell for the trap. But at the same time, we know once you fall for the trap, now
Well, it's not really fall for the trap. When they say so, these commercials and I look at it different, and you may look at it different too.
Yeah,
drink responsibly. Oh, because you don't want to be responsible for me going out driving while drunk. And everybody knows you shouldn't. But if I'm at my height of alcoholism and I've driven to and from, I'm just going to my house. It's about 5 blocks away. Listen,
I don't think I could pass a breathalyzer test the day after.
So you know what? We really didn't harp on breathalyzers. So if somebody couldn't do because some people can't do breathalyzers because of their health history, like they can't breathe out that long to register. It's very subjective, meaning it's almost like a lie detector test in court. You can do it and you can be like, oh man, this person did it probably, but you can't put it in court. Like it's not gonna hold up. Same with breathalyzers. Yeah. Like now we did do it and some people blew 5 times above, 20 times above the legal limit, and they just sit here talking like me and you. Them people,
yes, that was me.
Them people those are the ones you like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm sitting here, blood pressure probably 200 over 150 or something.
And conversation.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like ain't nothing. I done went to the doctor one time. The doctor like, man, you all right? They got to check my vitals now. You need to go on and go to the emergency room. You about finna stroke out, and I'm sitting here having a regular I just ain't feeling too good, what I'm saying? Because I'm so used to having these hangover feelings.
Living that screaming just
she used to pick with me. She'd be like, yeah, you got a seasoned liver. I'm looking at myself, eyes all yellow,
and so when
skin, I'm already yellow, but she could even see that it turned yellow.
One time I think I was talking to you, I went to your house and I was talking, I was like, you're jaundiced.
You jaundiced.
And you were like, how would?
I got to taking my glasses off, looking at myself in the mirror. I wasn't the person, because I was always like an athletic person, played sports in school, happy-go-lucky. Now, I put on that front when I went outside. When I came home and started that drinking, I'd go up in seclusion. I play with my kids and all that, And that caused problems even with my marriage. My wife, she didn't want me drinking like that. She was like, you just going to wait till it happens and you just going whatever. So it
changes your family. That's just another.
That's what I'm saying. Addiction in general. That's why
the family dynamic.
But I have, like I said, once she took me, she got online and she looked at some places like, hey,
you trying to jazz it up, but let's just go back to the real before. I got a string of text messages and I was like, dude, are you okay? Like, why are you just? We were beefing, basically. We were battling out. And I'm like, I'm not going to do this with you at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And
yeah, she gave me a plan.
I did.
She gave me a plan, and she meant well with the plan.
He just didn't
But
see
the
it at
police got involved.
Yeah.
And I don't do police. She don't do police. I don't do police.
But when you change certain things,
it was more so like voluntary. It was more like voluntary.
Yeah.
Like it was, it's gonna be voluntary. They're gonna do this and they'll do that.
Yeah.
So when they came, I ain't feel like paying for no ambulance.
And if it's a safety aspect, whether they think that, and who knows, if they think that you might be in danger to yourself or they feel like they might be.
Yeah, see, she didn't explain all that.
Well, because I didn't want to tell you business.
Yeah, she didn't explain all that. So now that when I look up and paramedics all in my face and it was pretty much like, it's not even voluntary that you get on this ambulance.
Because they were like,
it's mandatory.
So
I was like, well, I'll go,
Yeah.
but I'll get in my car and I'll go. I'm not paying that. nah, you ain't gonna say we need to get
Right,
on this
'cause,
ambulance.
in
So now
hindsight,
it's like, hey, so she like, oh, I'll pay for the ambulance or whatever after. But I look outside and it's 2 police cars in my front yard. Man, the police, they didn't get out, they didn't even get out the car. They didn't get out the car. But I did. I ain't gonna lie. When I went to the hospital, I'm texting her, hey man, you got the police calling on me, man. I thought,
so that's that like.
But I did.
Like when we grew up in bad
Yeah,
neighborhoods, you sending the police after me. The
man,
feds.
the police, they all ever some. So I thought she was about to. So I did send her like, now you gonna answer your phone even though it was 3:00
so
in the
then
morning.
I'm going too.
So then she did text. She did respond. Hey, bro, like, and I did. I had to apologize because little sis, like, her heart was in the right place.
And you don't really know, and that's why people, if they have it, and a lot of times with alcoholism and other substances, whatever, whether you do either or both, they do kind of sometimes, a lot of times, burn bridges with their family and close
most
friends.
definitely.
And sometimes they are alone. They end up being alone, which is a whole nother aspect.
Yeah, it's layered. It's a layer.
It is.
It's a layer.
It's very complex because now it's like, well, I can't trust you because the last time I helped you out, you did this, and you back and forth. I can't have it in my life, so you know what? You just out of my life. And so it does become the lonely man on the island for a lot of people, and we see that. And I was like, you know what? I'm the youngest, but I wasn't going to like let him just be like, no, you better than that. Like you don't want to end up like our dad. And it's like, no, you finna go somewhere.
Yeah, and I didn't.
You finna go. I'm gonna pick you up.
Yeah, she did, and I remember it was
like 4:00 in the morning.
It was raining.
They were like, if you get him in by this time, we can get him in today. And I'm like, oh
yeah, it was raining. She found the place. She got online and she found the place. But like I said, she was really one of my. It still is like one of my biggest like support systems.
You're not gonna fail if I'm your friend. Or
nah, you're not.
If I care about you, and you really want to, and I know that he really wanted better for himself. It really not.
And like you said, like I said though, I was the person down the outside looking in.
Oh yeah, he looks like this.
It looked good. Not even this. I mean, I am healthier now.
This doesn't scream.
But even if I do a barbecue over my house and stuff, my kids look nice, my wife look nice, my house look nice. I keep my cars up, so I wasn't.
It's the facade.
Yes, I wasn't just. You couldn't visually see it. You couldn't visually see it. You could visually see. She knows me.
I'm a good actor.
Yeah.
So
the way we grew up, and like I said, that's for another podcast. But the way we grew up,
nurses are good actors. We're the best actors.
Yeah, and then even in the black families, you got to be because it's always little secrets
sweet stuff under the rug.
Hey, you got to do this. Mental. You mentally weak if you go seek help. So you always try.
Men can't cry.
Men can't cry. It might be a little secret. That you gotta keep. Hey, don't talk about it. You better not talk about. So then you get all these different layers too.
So now I'm a good manipulator. I'm a good liar. I'm a good cheater. So if I am doing drugs, guess what? Because of what I learned in my younger years,
those skill sets. That's
a skill set. Let me tell you.
It's a skill set.
Let me tell you.
It's a skill set. You know how to say the right things.
I can play the part good, and that's not good.
It's not.
Especially when you get into dynamics of relationships. It's like
yes.
I can play it well. I can play it well.
You gotta play the game now.
Yeah, you do sometimes. Depending on what you're doing.
You nice looking, make good money. I might play you, try to see if I can.
If opportunity,
get on.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you.
Who, me? I'm tired. I'm too tired.
You too smart too.
But no, I really got.
But
you know what? You made a good point because not too smart because there are a lot of people. So I don't want people to hear this and think that the only people that suffer from alcoholism is people who grew up in a bad or just addiction.
Right.
Grew up in bad areas or they didn't have one parent. No, don't hear me say that because I'll just use myself. I can be married, have kids, have a good education, and be
look good
drug
on the outside looking in, look real good.
A lot of medical people have struggled with addiction, especially the ones, say like a nurse anesthetist who give anesthesia. And, they are top tier drug addicts. I mean, so yeah.
Is that why they can find that vein so good?
I mean, no. Like that's why they can put on the show because in the back of their head it's like, as soon as I give Mr. Ed like this little bit, the Michael Jackson Purple Fall,
Right.
I'm gonna be giving myself some, so I'm good.
Goodness.
And so yeah, we had.
Let me
access.
see how he respond to it, just in case if I give a hot dose on accident.
So I got this whole bottle. I'm only gonna give him a snip, so I can just be good all day long. And so, especially if you work in emergency rooms, you work in labor and delivery like I did. I mean, we could just get them drugs out because we give them all day.
Well, like you said.
But it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. You can be.
Or what state or what, because you be on those calls and they was all around the United States.
That particular job, yes. So,
they was all around the United States and they were different drugs of choice.
Ages,
so this is just not this is just addiction in general. I'm just speaking on alcoholism because that's what got me.
But in terms of alcoholism though, I just need people to understand, like, just because you might not, well, I ain't been drinking 20 years. It doesn't matter. It's the amount of alcohol you drink, the alcohol content. It really doesn't matter to get into the logistics of, like, the content of the alcohol. If it's become a daily habit, that's why we used to... leave it alone.
Just leave it alone. Just when you go home. No, I'm saying when you go home, just to test yourself. Because people will, I just have a little drink after work to wind down. Don't do it.
So this is what the psychiatrist used to say, which I love, and I still use it. So the psychiatrist would say, okay, so if I sit this favorite drink right here on the table, your favorite alcoholic beverage.
Okay.
How long are you going to take before you just thinking about it constantly? Can you go through the whole day without drinking that? If you can, okay, I believe you ain't got no problem. But I'm telling you, you can't. And I've never heard one person say that, because hypothetically, if you, like, I ain't got no problem. You don't. So if I set your favorite liquor right here, you mean to tell me you might be doing this. I ain't got to do it. Okay, well, why are you focused on it? Like, why, that desire.
Just get off work after 8-hour or 10-hour shift or something and that drink right there.
Can you keep going?
You just had a rough day at work and, you
want to numb out.
Yeah, you just want to numb out. You might have gotten your kids getting on your nerves. Just any of that.
Money to pay my bills.
Any of that. Yeah. Any of that. Yeah. So.
My old man getting on my nerves.
Yeah, I need a drink to wind down. I mean, if you can handle it, I will say, if you can handle it, have your little shot or something or whatever. I mean,
that's different. That's social drinking.
But a person like me, I can't do none of that.
So you can't.
No, I can't do never. And I'm not never going to trick myself into thinking that I can.
And so
I cannot.
And so a lot of times people, it's not.
And by the way, y'all, I've been clean for 3 years now. A little bit over 3 years.
Wait, we got to do the clap.
Yeah, 3 years, y'all. 3 years. No anything. And
and I'm proud of you for that, for real.
I appreciate it.
Because that's hard work, because you did make a point to say, any day, any time is a moment to celebrate.
I mean, I'm a Celtic fan. The Celtics won the championship. Oh, man, I'm trying to kick it. You know what I'm saying?
When it's New Year's, I'm finna get a drink.
Oh, we ain't got to work this weekend. Oh, for real? We ain't got to work this weekend? Oh, no, drink. Everything.
A celebration.
Because I'm one of those, I don't have to have a reason to drink. I'm just going to drink because the liquor store there. But now... Yeah. You might see, and you got to learn your triggers. You might see something on TV where some people just sitting there.
Your favorite show come on.
Oh, you can look on the internet and see when people having a good time or they so having a good time. Yeah. First thing they do, they got a drink in their hand. It's about 4 people on a picture and they all got a drink in their hand. I'm looking like, ooh, that's clear. That's my drink of choice, y'all. They got that clear, you know what I'm saying? And they looking like they having a good time, all dressed up. Yeah. And I'm like, boy, that was me.
But that's how. But we were talking about that. Especially at Christmas time when everybody's having Christmas parties and the whole social drinking and everybody's all dressed up in their little, Christmas outfits and at the bar just like socializing.
Yeah, they look drink, holding they look.
And that could be a trigger because it's like...
It is a trigger. It is. A song come on the radio.
But it's very damaging, especially for young teens and young adults who don't have, a real sense of who they are.
Because that's an image of that's how you have a good time. Fun. That's how you have a good time. You smoke a blunt, the rappers... Yeah. They talking like they done. What you say the second one was? It was alcohol.
Benzos, Xanaxes, Antibiotics.
Okay, so now you look on TV and stuff and see your favorite rapper. He looking a hot mess and he can't talk. He's slurring and about. They used to be sitting in my chair and they'll start off and they having a very good conversation. I can tell the one was on them. By the time that 20, 30-minute haircut, I'm like, hey, man, you finna try to get in your car and drive? You all right? Hey, hold on, who with him? You know what I'm saying?
It's sad because, I mean,
but that's some of the culture.
It is culture.
That's just some of the culture.
Normal to sip on scissor. Okay, well, you saw this person rapper fall off the stage and had a seizure. Is it still cool?
Now y'all about 3-4. I know we all
dehydrated.
Now y'all 3-4 deep in the car. Everybody on dope. Everybody got guns in the car. Everybody got dope. I mean, just like that. Why I said fall for the trap? But meaning these are things.
But you have that person sitting in your chair, whether it's you or that person. And it's like, I never understood, so I never indulged because I didn't understand, like, you just like this in the chair. Why is that fun?
That's not comfortable.
That is not fun. So somebody could catch you slipping, rob you, like you drive, like.
It's a blackout. Like, people used to tell me, hey, man, I blacked out, man. Somebody hit me up about 5,000, had 5,000 in me, man. I was at the club and I'm blacked out. Man, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and dude, you gonna get behind the wheel. Like, when they was in my chair, hey, man, who with him?
But then when they
hey man, you drive them, like, and then they'll wake up and be like, man, cuz I don't even remember nothing.
But you know what?
And you want to be like that, but that's just, that's how strong addiction is.
I met some young girls in college, so the game of that is they want to black out. I said, I'm sorry, what?
That's crazy. That's the goal.
That is the goal. And I'm like, whoa. So now, and this because I have a daughter.
And you got to do a lot to black out.
But we talk about these group of girls that I was talking to, they were college age and they didn't look like us. Let's just put it like that. But it really don't matter. It's the fact that the goal was to black out. That's the goal. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me the goal is to black out? So now if we all blacked out, who watching who? Because I didn't drink, so I was always the designated driver. So my friends, we go to the club in college. They know they can drink because guess what? I don't have to drive. Valerie's always driving, and I'm cool. Now they didn't black out, but these girls these days, they off the chain. The goal is to black out. So I'm like, so there's so many different dynamics just to that one thing. And I'm not saying that you can't drink responsibly, but if the goal is to black out, like I don't know how that's fun. I don't know.
Is that scary? You wake up
and you don't know what happened.
Bed next to a dude you ain't never met before.
Or body parts.
That's about 20 people, somebody was sitting there recording how goofy you are.
It wasn't hurting before.
Yeah,
like body parts hurt. You know what I'm saying?
But
your tooth might be knocked out.
Yeah. I don't woke up. No, you bring me back. You don't bring me back to a memory.
No, not you.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I woke up. So that's why I kind of get quiet. I woke up one time, shirt all ripped. I mean, her blood coming down. I done came home and done knocked everything. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm sitting there, you know what I'm saying?
You don't know what happened?
I fell. It was something in the way. I think it was this how far back I lived with Mama. Mama had some church stuff, so it was table. Yeah, exactly. Oh so you know how you could walk down the steps and then walk in my room? She had some tables and they had that metal.
Yes.
I done knocked everything down, come to find out. But that night I remember I woke up. And
you see what I'm saying? That night
I could have died.
You were numb though.
I could have.
It numbs your brain receptors.
I was able to go to sleep.
But that's why when drunk drivers, you always hear about the driver lived, he was drunk. Yeah, because I'm driving sober. I'm gonna be bracing, my muscles are tense. He, like he said, he fell, cut his arm. He like, this is just a scratch.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep, wake up and...
You done got a gash, bleeding to death.
Yeah, what the hell?
You been fighting with ghosts or something.
Man, but...
Yeah, that's dangerous.
But, you know...
It could have been way worse.
I'm saying it in a joyful way, but seriously, like, people have fell off porches and stuff and done bust their head or died.
Broke 2 ankles.
Right, broke 2 ankles. Like,
it's not funny.
I mean, it's messed up. It's messed up. So... You know, I will say this, though. If a person who's listening to this or somebody has a family member, like, I'm telling you or telling the addict, you know, like, if you really, really want to quit, you know, like the way we was created as humans, if you really want to quit, you have to have not just motivation.
You do.
You got to have discipline. Like, because motivation some days you're not going to be motivated. You're not going to be motivated to not want to drink because you're going to get triggered. Or you're going to be motivated. So you got to have discipline and you got to start.
And that's the thing, triggers. You said triggers, and I just want to make a point to that because whether it's any substance, alcohol, or whatever.
Any of them.
people have triggers, and so
You
a lot
gotta
of
start
times,
learning them.
and some people
You gotta
know,
start
and,
learning
the
them.
questions that we used to ask on it in admission to the rehab units were like, do you know what your triggers are, or have you been able to recognize your triggers? Some people said no, and some people said no, I know my triggers. And a lot of times for people who don't have enough money to move out of their area,
Right.
because it's really sad, because I'm not knocking people for their hustle, because you just do what you got to do, but a lot of times, like, drug dealers know if a person been gone for a month or two and they gone to rehab, and they will find them once they leave, because it's like, hey Val, like, you know what I'm saying, you want to like hit you, whatever they say. And it's like, now you know this person might have went to rehab. They trying to do better. Like, go on
Yeah,
to
'cause they
somebody
don't
else.
care.
But they don't care. But that's another thing.
Friends
But
too.
friends too.
Friends
Yeah.
too. If
And,
you used to
yeah,
hanging around
yeah,
people who doing that drug